I'm back! Hi YouTube, I'm Angie, and today I was going to talk about self-harm and depression. It's something that I've been going through, very extreme, as well as the eating disorder, the past couple months, to an extent of it feels like there is no way out whatsoever. Hold on one second. The depression has got so bad that I've been 5150'd, which, if you don't know what a 5150 is, it's a form that the hospital signs out where they keep you on a 72-hour stay, and they either send you to a mental hospital or some sort of ward, or they keep you at the hospital for psychiatric evaluation. I was 5150'd in June, I want to say June, for suicidal tendencies, which is something that I am still very much dealing with. They put me on, what was it called? They put me on some drug, some antipsychotic called Zyprexa, along with an antipsychotic called Abilify and Prozac. And I think that's all. I think that's all they had me on. But anyways, so about the depression and suicidal tendencies, I had been dealing with self-harm, self-mutilation since I was about 14 years old. And back then it wasn't really anything. It was like taking a little pencil and, like, I'm just gonna scratch, blah, little tiny scratches, tiny little drops of blood, not really anything, barely enough to scar. And then it went away. That was when I was younger. It was more of an attention thing than it was I actually want to hurt myself kind of thing. And then as I got older, the depression sort of faded, and a couple months ago it came back really, really, really bad. I started cutting again, and it wasn't just scratching, it was finding a serrated knife or a steak knife in the kitchen, or stealing razor blades out of my parents' drawers. And to get kind of graphic, I would take any part and I would take something and just back and forth and until it was gushing blood. And then the smarter and smarter I got about it. This is not me promoting self-harm in any way whatsoever. I'm just explaining. So then it got to the point that, let's see if I can find something. Here we go. Instead of this, it became, I pressed down as hard as I could and slice. And so yeah, it was like that. And that's when it became deeper, and it went from little tiny cuts and slices to sometimes it would be so deep that my skin would be like an inch away from each other. And here, let's see if I can get it to show my scars. I guess not. Can you see it on there? Can you see it at all? Maybe if I pull back. There we go, that's a little better. I have them all over. This one was by far my worst one. That one was about 1.5 inches. It used to be from about here to here. But as you can see, they are all over, and they are deep, and there are more up here. I also have them, you can't see them, I'll show my leg. I have them all here, completely from here to here, 100% covered this whole area here with about 50 of them. It says fat right here really big. In one of my other videos when I'm wearing shorts, I'll show you. I have, let's see if I can get it to show. I don't think so. Oh, there it is. You can see all these scars here. So the scars go all the way around. Anyways, so that's that. And it got really, really bad, to the point where my sponsor, I was in AA at the time getting sober, and my sponsor basically decided to kidnap me and take me to the hospital, where they put me on a 5150 and sent me to a mental hospital. Before that, that was that, and before, I hadn't told her about it, but I had a lot of trying to kill myself episodes in the past. I was an idiot 15-year-old, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna overdose on melatonin, and took a bunch of melatonin, and then learned that you can't overdose on melatonin because it's a natural drug. I tried to kill myself on Xanax when I was 16 years old. I ended up just having a heart attack in my third period class freshman year. I had tried with a few of these. I had tried to cut as deep as I possibly could so I would bleed out, along with taking lots of pills. Right now, I have a bottle of pills still with over 700 milligrams in it of different kinds. It's filled with Zyprexa and Abilify and Prozac. It's kind of my just in case jar that I keep just in case something goes wrong, because I'm okay now. Well, not really, but I'm better-ish now. And, I don't know. I just keep it there just in case. You never know what happens. Right now I'm living with my boyfriend, and, our roommates are horrible. I don't want them to hear me. But, he's the only thing keeping me alive right now, I think. With hospital bills, I'm like $10,000 in debt, between $8,000 and $12,000. I have scars all over my body that everywhere I go, people are always staring at me. Everywhere I go, old people ask me what happened, and I have to come up with different kinds of lies. It's really hard. It's really, really hard to constantly have the memory of your depression plastered all over your arms and legs and hips. I had a friend who I went to the lake with who didn't know about my cutting, and I was wearing a bathing suit, and they saw them all over, and after I got back from the lake, that person never talked to me again. They were completely terrified of the fact that I would be so immature as to cut myself, and I don't think that people really understand that it doesn't feel like a choice. It's an addiction. Just like an eating disorder, just like a drug addict. It's an addiction, and I had to stay up all night long and sleep all day because I couldn't stand to be alive in the daytime. I had no friends anymore. Everyone left me. People couldn't stand to be around me because I just got so low, and it was because of the eating disorder as well. And so I was just stuck alone in my room all night, and every single morning between 1 and 4 in the morning I would cut myself. I'd go over the scars, I'd go over old scars, I'd go into new places. Even now, I haven't cut in about 2 months, and I look at the blank spots on my arm and everything in me. It takes everything I have, and talking to my boyfriend and my therapist and my family and my friends now, and it takes talking to everyone to stop me from doing that, because it's become such a huge thing for me. I can't go through my depression alone, because it will come right back. And what I guess what I was saying about, my just in case thing is, anything could go wrong at any time. I could decide, this is it. And I don't want to, especially not right now when things are going good. My boyfriend's amazing, he's talked to me about marrying him. Things are going really, really well in that department, but in other departments, things are not going so well. And really, my boyfriend is out of town right now, and the only thing that's keeping me from cutting is the thought that when he gets back, I don't want him to have to see that, because it happened before a couple months ago when he went out of town, and he came back, and he wasn't mad at me. He understood, but he was so disappointed in me, and my therapist was so disappointed, and there's this place here called Mental Health that I have to check up with now that I've been in a mental hospital, and I have to check up with them bi-weekly. And they were so disappointed, like, you were doing so good, and you'd gone a month, and I don't want to see that again, and that's the only thing stopping me. And that's how I know that my depression is still really deep, is because there should be more things stopping me from doing that, but there's not. Every pound that I gain used to be a cut. Every pound. Well, there's 10 within, every pound was 10 cuts, not every pound was a cut, because every 0.1 was a new cut. And so some days I'd gain 4 pounds, some days I'd gain half a pound, some days I'd be cutting 40 cuts on my arm, some days I'd be cutting 2 cuts on my arm. But I mean, like I said, it's still a struggle. I still want to. I still miss it. I miss the feeling. I miss the look of draining blood. I miss it. I miss it all so much, and I can't do it. Anyways, I know there's someone somewhere out there who is or isn't watching this that understands what I'm going through, and just like the last video, this is another video that I'm making, hoping that someone will watch and understand what I'm going through, or someone will watch and see that I understand what you're going through, and hopefully this video will help someone see that they're not alone, because that's how it feels. You feel alone, and anyone who says I understand, you can't believe them. It doesn't make sense, because there's no way anyone could understand. But so I know what it is to watch this and think like, oh, that's bullshit, this girl has no idea what she's talking about. But anyways, questions are welcome, messages are welcome, comments are welcome, anything you have to say. These are only my first 2 videos, so I'll be posting some more about other stuff. If you have other ideas of things or topics you'd like me to talk about, there's plenty that I'm going through. My next video is most likely going to be about borderline personality disorder, which is a disorder that I've been diagnosed with, and which is sort of the result of eating disorders and depression, is what I've learned, that most people with borderline go through this kind of stuff and self-harm and whatnot. So, again, comments, questions, anything you want, I'm very open and ready to answer anything. Angie out.